All right, folks, if you want to please go ahead and find your seats. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our next presenter. Shannon Tarrant is on a mission to help event pros learn a proven system for success. With over 15 years as an off-site caterer and then mini manager, she developed both companies into local powerhouses. A professional go-getter today, she is a no BS speaker and co-host of her podcast, The Wedding Sassholes. Sharing her industry wisdom while running her own businesses, Wedding, Venue Map, and Venue Help Desk, Shannon tells it like it is, whether you're ready for it or not. Welcome, Shannon Tarrant.
I hope you got the pleasure of seeing me give it everything I have. Oh man, who was there at the TV? Yeah? Did you see my epic character drama? That was a one and done, don't tag me on the internet. Okay? Post away, just don't tag me. There's so many amazing familiar faces in here, but there's a lot of fresh meat, so I'm really excited to teach you some good stuff today. If you have never seen me speak before, tiny little bits of housekeeping that make it a lot easier. I use way too many GIFs. Way too. It's out of control. It never stops. It's my level of sarcasm. I also talk way too fast. So you're gonna need to write, but I'm also recording this on video. I know they are. I'll dump it on my YouTube channel. If you want to see it, just shoot me an email and I'll give you the video and you can rewatch. You can give it to your team because maybe you're not the person who's in charge of today's topic. So you ready for this shit? Yeah! Yes. So, obviously I know some of you, but what category of vendors are here in the room? What do you do? DJ Entertainment. Anything outside of DJ Entertainment or production? Photo video. What else? Photo video? Fuck yeah! I'm expecting you to get naked before the end of this. Yes! Give me what you got. So, outside of, not only, what you do, what types of events are you doing the majority of your business? Weddings? Anybody non-wedding? Frat parties, yeah. My sorority years came in handy last year. That was all my lipsticks from college to embarrass myself. What? Yeah, I'm here for it. So just to tell you a little bit about what I do, I own a local destination resource in Central Florida, the Orlando area, called Wedding Venue Map. We're a directory. And the thing about that is I live in an interesting space in between the people planning weddings and events and the businesses. But we're a free resource. So the benefit for you is they tell me all kinds of shit they would never say to you. I do about 25 wedding shows a year. So I'm having one-on-one conversations in person, in the DMs, with engaged couples, but we're free. So they just overshare, word vomit, all the things they love about our industry and hate about our industry there. Outside of that, I own a second business called Venue Help Desk, where we work one-on-one with wedding event venues across the country, putting on workshops, and really teaching them how to be better partners for you, but also to sell more events, because the more they do, the more they refer you, right? You know right there? So, a little bit about why I got really excited about the topic of email marketing. As a company, I live in that interesting space where we have both business-to-business email marketing and business-to-consumer. So on a weekly basis, we send lead responses, follow-up emails, B2B newsletters, B2C newsletters, automated workflows, email drip campaigns, and we cold call like a mofo. We be reaching out to people, like creeping out, going to find them. And why that's important is because my numbers don't screw around. The national average for open rates is 34 to 42% right now. We're averaging 48 to 72% because of the content and when we figured out how it works. Same thing with click-through rates. I give you stats because sometimes people over-expect their clicks when they send an email blast to be like, oh, only 4% clicked. I'm like, that's the national average. It's not meant to be large-scale email marketing is not meant to really have super high conversion rates. It's a game of numbers. Kind of like Alan was saying, it's consistent, constant, and the more you stay top of mind, you get in front of people. So I'm a boss at this shit. We send so much email, I annoy everyone in our market, but they be loving it and they don't unsubscribe. So then there's that, right? Have you guys ever hear people talk about and say things like email is dead? Yeah? Do you ever feel that way? you send emails out to the vast and whatever. Right now, current statistics are 88% of email users are still checking their inbox multiple times a day. 88%. Which means you've got a shot. But you ever feel like if they're all checking, how come they're not replying? It's because your content sucks. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Right? The numbers are a little bit shocking in terms of what some of the pieces and parts are. So here's the 3 areas we're going to cover today. First is sales lead response emails. Second is monthly newsletter style emails. And third is automated email campaigns. How many of you currently are doing more than just regular lead response? Are you doing automated drips? Are you doing newsletters? Okay, small percentage. The rest of you are screwed after this. Your homework list will be long and ready to go. I truly believe in this philosophy when you come to conferences and education that it's better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly. Sometimes you learn things like this and you're like, how do you really do it right? You just gotta get started. So please don't take away from this and leave. Wait, get a good one, get a good one. Otherwise I'm like, every freaking photo. So when you leave this conference, make the choices of what things you're actually going to implement, but just start, just try. It's never gonna be perfect, you just gotta test it and get moving. So, I have a little dirty secret. I secret shopped a ton of you this weekend. I got my hands on the list, and I just started going through websites and filling out forms. So can you take a picture of this and please remove this bitch from your CRM so you don't keep blowing her up? Her name is Mary Jean Grossi. She's a big bride. The lead came in on Sunday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I didn't hit all of you, but I hit a really good chunk, but get it out of your system so you don't waste your time following up anymore. But I want to tell you why I do this, because I think sometimes when you come and educate to a large room like this, the feedback is like, oh, I don't do that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So I would say out of the responses I got in a short time frame window, there's only 3 out of the 30 that I copied and pasted and put in this presentation and they were good. 3 out of 30. So we're going to keep on trying and we're going to fix some of these. I also made a personal choice to not embarrass any of you with your bad emails. So they're not in here, but I have them in my inbox. I'll be here for the next few days and I'm happy to review them. But before we start about your emails, friends, we need to talk about your contact forms. Now I love DJ Event Planner too. But you have got to stop using 600 fields on your contact forms. So here's the, as I was filling out forms and going through your website, being like, I'm the bride, I'm the bride, I'm the bride, I'm the bride. Most of the forms I got to had way too many fields. I'm talking anywhere from like 10 to 25 fields. Who the hell has time for that shit? They're not filling that out. You know what they're doing? They're not doing what I did. They're just bouncing off your site. Like, it was nuts. So, or, oh God, we're getting overexcited. Okay, or there were too many required fields. Do you really need all that information? You're requiring a whole ton of stuff. Another epic fail for those of you using DJEP, because it was specific to that, because I can tell and I know what it is. There were all these fields where the phone number and all these fields were not marked required, but I couldn't submit the form. So I got all the way to the bottom, not starred, no required, hit submit, because I left everything I could blank to go as fast as I could, and I couldn't submit. And it's like, you need this, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, if I'm the customer, you just lost me. There's a lot of shit you're asking that you don't actually need to know. I'd like to know why you need my mailing address for you. What the fuck, are you gonna show my house? Like, what are you mailing me? Now, I know you need that address when it comes to a contract, but like, hello? We don't need this at this point. I don't even know you, you don't even know me. Why would I tell you where I live? A little weird, right? I also don't want to give you my phone number. Ever. Ever. I don't want to talk to you. I own 2 businesses, I work 75 hours a week. I just did a massive home project. I spent $25,000 on a retaining wall and a patio. You want to know who won the bid? The motherfucker who texts. All the other contractors would only talk on the phone, or would only send email. But the guy who texted me won, spent the money. I don't want to give you my phone number. You haven't earned it. Go ahead.
How do you get texted without a phone number?
Oh, I'm going to teach you some sexy stuff. What you can put on that form instead. instead. It's next. I want you to put on the form, input your phone number if you prefer text. This is sexy and has nothing to do with the topic, but after I secret shopped you all, we had to do something. I had to fix the problem. This is the exact wording. Input your phone number if you prefer text. Now, we work with Mark at the IU Society, and don't make it required. Don't make it required. Mark at the IU Society has tested this time and time again on landing pages with ads. He has got a proven 85% increase in phone number form submissions by using that wording. Not required. Saying, because if I know you're not going to call me, I'll give you my phone number. But I don't want you to call me, because I'm not going to answer, and it's an invasion of my privacy. Go ahead.
So should we be asking for the email twice? Because, I mean, I've had people just input their email wrong, and I've had it all over the time.
No, don't make me feel more. You just added more forms? You want me to put my email in twice?
As a security, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Then how are we going to get?
You're fucked. I don't know what to tell you. You're making me do it twice? I'm like, this company's a moron, and I'm out. Now you get 0 instead of the few times they type it in wrong.
Your email just wrong.
I mean, I get it, but like, can you sometimes look at it and if they spell Gmail, Gmial, fucking fix it. Right? If their name is like Susie Giangrossi@gmail.com, and she spells her last name wrong in the email, and spelled it right in the form, fix it. Do the work, do the research. But please, God willing, stop asking for so much crap. Okay, I'm off the soapbox. Again, back to the topic again. Please go fix these. Go look at your own. Please take a look. I'll sit down with you. I'm here for 2 days. It was bad. I mean, I was in the airport like, holy crap. Form after form after form, field after field. I'm like, why? Why do you need all this information? Because now when you reach out to me, you have nothing to talk about. So let's talk about these sales emails. What are people looking for when they reach out to you? The price. We don't know what the hell else to ask. Whether I'm planning a wedding, planning an event, need a photographer, I don't know what I need.
How about a proposal? Should a proposal be better than a fight?
No, not ready for a proposal yet. You don't even know what I want. How do you give me a proposal? Because you put 46 fields on your form? So you're making me answer all of those? Right? Like, true story. They are looking for pricing information when they reach out to you, and they open it up and it's not there. I know it should already be on your website. That's a whole other presentation. But they also don't read. So you put it on your site, or you put it on your site somewhere hidden that they can't find it. Stop calling that shit an investment. They're not investing in a portfolio. They're spending money, right? So they just want your pricing. So here's the most common email mistakes, not only that I knew in advance, but going through the emails that I received. First and foremost is poor design. And what I mean by that is what the email actually freaking looks like. So here's how you fix it. Send an email to yourself that you normally send. Look at it on a cell phone first. As a wedding directory, our traffic is 78% mobile right now. My boyfriend, I've been with him for 8 years, he doesn't own a computer. He runs his whole life through that cell phone. It's fucking mind-blowing, because I'm doing this as I have 42 of them. But like, this is the norm. Right? If they're not in that world, he's like the construction guy. He's fixing, he's not, his job is mobile on the phone, right? So send it to yourself and go look at it. Are you utilizing tools like bold, underline, and italics to draw the eye through the email? It's very easy, right? All of a sudden you look and you're like, oh, cell phone, right? It takes your eye to where you need it to be. Make sure in today's world, us oldies, like our phone set to dark mode. What I mean by that is on my iPhone, when I open it up, my email screen is black. So the text auto-reverts to white. You know what happens if you put your logo in there as a PNG and your logo's black? Gone. I don't even see it. So look at your email in dark mode also. Is your brand recognizable? So I filled out 35 forms on Sunday. I can tell you the 3 brands in here that I remember because it became recognizable in the emails when it got sent. So is your logo in your footer, like in your email signature? Like, are there things that I can expect? Does the name of your email when it gets sent, does it say it's from so-and-so and not like djjazz@gmail.com? That's not an actual, but there were a lot of those on the list. And then what does your email signature include? Some of the email signatures were a whole screen. Who is going to do that? No one. Make it condensed. Make it the kinds of things you actually want them to do. Second fail in those emails is the actual content itself. Too much content. Your ultimate goal when it comes to that first initial lead email is one cell phone screen, no swipe. All my employees are under 32. It's a wild ride in my office. Wild ride. Because they're your ideal client. Bree opens every email that gets sent and she swipes to see how long it is to decide if she wants to read it right now. I mean, it's from me. I pay your salary, bitch. Read my emails. But literally that's what they do. So you have one email screen, no swipe to make a difference. One screen. That includes your signature. One screen. Stop trying to get me on the phone in the first email. I didn't want to talk to you before. I tried to not even put in my phone number. 999 didn't work. I tried that shit. Then I just started making up phone numbers. I'm sorry, all you people been calling numbers all over the place. Sorry, I love you. Mean it. Don't include more than one image. If you're going to put a photo in there, please make sure it's not too high res, because then it's really big, it might not open right, and not so low res that it's blurry. If you choose to put an image in there, ask one question at a time. Many of the emails I got had like a block of 7 questions in the middle. I can't handle more than one at a time. And like it's 23-year-old bride. Like they can't handle it. It's too much information, right? Or it's too sales heavy and it's just full of cliches. You're a perfect day, congratulations. Like, we gotta move past that. Number 3 fail is the subject line. So, easy subject line fixes. Include a person's name. It's something like they're more than 60% likely to open email that their name is in the subject line, right? And stand out from the pack. So one of them was great. You'll see the example. It says, Mary, I'd love to be your DJ. I was like, oh, that's nice. That was a great subject line. It made me want to open it. Use their event date or venue if you know it. If you're going to ask 67 fields and make me fill all that shit out, can you at least utilize it to your advantage? Put it in the email, right? And then what goes in the email? Here's our wedding pricing guide. If I want the price, give me the link to what I want to read. Don't hide it. We don't need to talk first. Give me ranges, give me some kind of information. I don't want to talk to you. I just don't. I just want to know how much does it cost. Because today's client planning an event, it was the first quote I got for the retaining wall on the patio of my house was $42,000. I called my boyfriend and I cried. I was like, it's a fucking new car. I drive a 2010 Prius. That bitch is ready to explode. I'm getting a car before I build a wall. I'm getting a car, right? So like, it's embarrassing to get a quote or a price. To have to talk to you, for you to tell me I'm poor. Right? It doesn't feel good. That guy was like, and did all the tricky sales shit. We will be the lowest. I'm like, I didn't say I was looking for the lowest. But I thought all the quotes were gonna come in that high. But if he would have just given me a general range or asked me questions, I could have gotten that pricing in advance. Use emojis in your subject line. Again, statistically higher open rate when there's an emoji in the subject line. And be careful of using spam blocking words, which happen on a lot of them. There's a list of like 500 of them on the internet, but these are a lot of the common. Free, deal, guaranteed, click here, promise, limited time, bonus, offer, rates. Here's our wedding rates. Rates is a spam word in the subject line. So if you put that in that subject line, it's likely to hit spam filters. But there's like a million. Also, too many exclamation points. If you always are sending emails with exclamation points in there, the spam filters start to be like, those people are too excited about what they do. They literally would be like, spam. They really love their jobs, right? So you don't really want that. Another mistake is no personalization. Like I said, on a lot of them, I filled out where my venue was, or I made it up, or I picked a date, and you didn't even talk about it. So there's easy things you can do. Use their name in the email, which most of you did, I'll give you that. Event date and type, if you know the email, the venue, say something specific about the venue. You know the spaces, right? So say, oh my God, we love working at Bella Colina. That Tuscan-inspired lawn is the perfect ceremony spot. You know the venue, reinforce their decision that they've already made. It also sounds like you work at that venue all the time. So now there's implicit trust there. And then no more congratulations. By the time they're choosing entertainment, sorry, you're not wedding people, but this is for you. If they're choosing entertainment, they have chosen the venue, they have bought a dress, they have probably chosen a photographer, they've most likely picked catering if there's offsite catering before they get to you. Congratulations isn't sexy anymore. They don't care. Although one of you had a really cool email, I couldn't find it when I went back, that it was like, I'm sure you've heard congratulations a million times already. So and I was like, oh, that was funny. Like that was a pattern interrupt, right? It made me stop and be like, oh, that was cute. You probably heard congrats 1,000 times by now, but let me be the 47th person to say it. It was cute, because it said it, but addressed it in a way that was a little more entertaining. Next up is errors. Oh my friends, grammar and spelling is a magical thing. Like magical. And two of you who are friends of mine in this room really need to come see me, because that shit was atrocious.
Call him out.
Nope, not doing it. You might know who you are. Go look at that email you sent to Mary and see what it does. But if you have a CRM, use templates that you can check one time and check to make sure the grammar's right, the spell's right. If you're using Gmail or anything like that, you can literally load Grammarly into it. It will check and underline shit if you spell it wrong. Even on your phone, it will do the same thing. There's tools out there. Double check, or one time go back and read before you hit send, please. And then check all of your links. Some of you are using templates that maybe those links are old links and you've moved that piece of information, like you've moved it to a different page on your site, and the link is a broken link. Literally, I was trying to click stuff and I was like, it goes to 404 dead pages. Also send it to yourself, maybe if you're writing a template, before you send it to everyone else. God willing, please. ChatGPT is a great tool. She's a little wordy though, so you gotta control that bitch. You gotta be like, no more than 50 words, like, control her. The last one, a lot of them, there was no call to action. You either ask them 76 questions or none at all. So there's only one thing. I can only handle one action. So when I'm reading this email, sometimes it's responding back to one question. There was a really good form, I think it was Yanni's form, and it had a dropped out, it had a section on it that was super sexy. It was a fill-in, and it said on it, please if you're ready to book an appointment, please let me know 2 available dates and times in the upcoming few weeks. He said they fill it out all the time. So they're telling you, I'm ready for an appointment. You didn't even have to ask. They're already telling you. There was also one of the forms that was really great that had something like a drop-down that says, I'm just looking for pricing information, or I'm ready to get started with the planning. That's great, right? You've already decided if it's a cold lead or a hot lead. I get really excited with the clicker, I'm sorry, I know it's done. Make sure all your links are clickable. A lot of times in your email signatures, you have like an Instagram icon, and I click them, and they don't work, they don't go anywhere. Or you put like, here's our Facebook address, and it's not hyperlinked. And I'm like, this is legit, I actually did this to be able to see. This is not just best information. I also think, how many of you use an online appointment book or Calendly, in your CRM, whatever? Put it in your email signature. So it's a great way if you're not ready to ask for the appointment for them to forever see where I can book one. Okay? So put it everywhere so they'll be able to see it. The last mistake is attaching huge PDFs. Alan touched on this a tiny bit. Sometimes when you're putting PDFs as an attachment and I open it on my phone, that font 13 looks great on a computer. But on a phone, I have to do this, because I'm 42. I can't read shit. So then I'm not getting, so when's the last time you actually opened that PDF on your phone to see what the font size is? Can I actually see it? Are you putting paragraphs of stuff? Maybe you could turn it into 3 pages instead of 1 page, so it's actually readable on a mobile device. Check the file size. Some of y'all be sending huge files as attachments. Put them in your website and let them live there, and then just make it a link to that page in your website. Make sense? I mean, was that fair? Are you all going to go check your shit after this? God willing, please? Please. I will pray for you. But like I said, I'm literally here, and I'm happy to help look at them. So here's your banners. I got 3 banners. I didn't email everyone, so don't feel like, ooh, she doesn't like mine. I just did a chunk. Travis in there? No, skip this session. Tell that bitch later I called him out for doing good work. Great email. Mary, I love your DJ. Hi, Mary. Thanks for inquiring about my services. I probably wouldn't use the word inquiring. If you would say it to a person standing in front of you, don't put it into an email. Would you ever, like, at a wedding show, say, thank you for your inquiry, thank you for inquiring? No. Like, use the words you would use, right? I'd be delighted to have you have an amazing wedding photos magic, and just double check I'm available on your date. Are you doing both your ceremony and will we be doing your ceremony reception and your service charges? Boom. My only recommendation for this is on an iPhone or an Android, no matter what email service you use, you can actually put in an email signature that's like will auto blow in. Like I have a Gmail email signature when I'm on mobile. It's not as fancy as my desktop one, but this is sexy. One screen, we're starting a conversation. He Allenberg the shit out of that email. That is an Allenberg, he's an Allenberg trained DJ, 100%. No, he didn't give me pricing, but I'm okay with that. We're starting to talk. We're starting to talk. And it was on his website. I went back and looked. Right? So it's a way of starting that consultation without me making a commitment. Toast and Jen, are you here? Oh, it's such a good website. We have to talk about our social media. Shh. We're talking about your Instagram. Please find me.
In a good way or a bad way?
We've got the recommendations. Right? But the email, so good. Included a photo. Who doesn't want that phone on the bottom right to be on at their event, right? But it's the link to the pricing, it's color-coded, so I can see the links, right? It was quick to reply. It was a little more than a screen because of the picture at the bottom, but not bad. This might have been the autorespond. Yeah, so this is the autoresponder. It was so sexy they didn't have to send me an email. But the autorespond within seconds on a Sunday got me exactly what I was looking for. It was good. Impressive, ladies, and incredible website. Okay, last up was sound services entertainment. Yeah, all right. So, really good. Your wedding DJ request, great. The only thing I would say about this, I love that the appointment booker was right in there. I would just, your standard rule on an email should be every 1 to 2 sentences you put a line break. Like, break it down, because that's like, it's a lot of reading. So it was good, it came fast, it had the link to, they're not all perfect, right? But it's very much like, I love that you said I'm heading to Chicago for a DJ conference. I'm like, oh, fancy. You are like educating yourself and learning things. So now I expect a slower reply, right? He's setting up and set proper expectations. Really good email, really good email. They're not all perfect. There's no one secret sauce to these, but you gotta be willing to try something different. I'm here all day today and all day Thursday. Tomorrow I'm gonna go disappear. But I will help you with your emails. So if you want to open them, find me, we can sit down, we can go through them lunch after. I am your bitch this week. Because when you fix these, we make more money. Because they start to reply. I mean, some of them, guys, one of them was 5-screen scroll of like a whole screen paragraph. No one's reading it. I didn't even read it because it was too much. So like when you make these changes in terms of your email, immediate money. Okay, we're gonna shift on to topic 2. So I'm gonna go a little bit way back because I've been in the event industry 20 years. Some of you much longer than me. I feel like young and fresh at this conference. We're gonna go back to the world of CDs. So, I know, oh shit, the yummies are like, oh wow, people gave these out. So in our market, one of my very favorite B2B things that used to happen was at the holiday season, the wedding DJs of Orlando, it was like a DJ battle of Christmas CDs. Every single one of them made a new holiday CD every year. They gave it to you like the November Networker. And it was like a game of who could find the coolest new stuff, unique stuff, people would mix stuff, and they'd give us these CDs. It was like ridiculous, but it was so fun. Because not only do I have all my traditional Christmas music on CDs, because I'm 43, but now I've got all this other stuff that's usually unique, weird stuff that I've never heard of before. Why do you think that they did that every year at the end of the year? Top of mind, engagement season's coming, so like, don't forget me. The times have changed. I don't even have a place to play a CD anymore, unfortunately. But ultimately, the intent has not changed. You need to stay top of mind. We live in a world of busy-ass people. You're busy-ass people, right? My personal inbox currently today, unchecked it, is at 840 emails. personal. My family isn't even allowed to use my personal email box anymore because I don't read them. That's where like travel things sometimes go. Like that's not my junk email. My junk email is 26,450. That's my trash where all the promo shit goes. My actual personal email. For the things I want to see, we're busy. We don't always have time. So it's the repetition and reminder that you exist is what makes all the difference. Okay, so when I'm talking about marketing emails specifically, it allows you to connect with your audience regularly, right? You have these people that have reached out to you, emailed you, you did a trade show, you got their information. Fraternities are a great one because those bitches change over every freaking year. Whoever the social chair is changes every year, right? Sometimes twice a year. So like, you have got to figure out how do you stay top of mind with all these people with valuable info, and like, it also establishes you as an authority. You're here learning stuff, right? So like, imagine if you went home and sent a B2B email to all of the venues, vendors that you work with in your market that are like the top 3 takeaways that I learned at Marquee that you can implement in your business. Sexy. I want that email, right? Like, I don't have time to come, but before we get too deep into it, you have to have an email marketing platform. In 2024, you cannot BCC and blast. Who's doing it? You don't have to admit it, but at least one of you is doing it. You just BCC a ton of people and send an email. You will get blacklisted, your domain goes on a blacklist, there's a lot of work to get removed. I have like 3 of our members at Wedding Venue now who constantly, because they do it all the time. I always like to share my tools. Flowdesk is what we use for email marketing. I use it for 2 reasons. One, it's unlimited emails and unlimited subscribers. So I can have our list currently, my B2B list is 6,500, my bride list is almost 12,000. I pay $20 a month. Doesn't go up, doesn't change. That list can grow and grow and grow and grow at $20 a month. And you can do all the things I'm going to talk about today: workflows, automations, forms you put on your website, your digital downloads. You can do all of that stuff through this. It's super affordable. It's built for small business. So we're going to talk about 2 different categories. I just want to make sure we're on the same page when I say B2B versus B2C. B2C is any customer you have, whether it's corporate, weddings, social is your customers. B2B is other businesses in your market that would refer you business. Make sense? Moving on. It's literally illegal to just add people to an email list without their permission. It's actually against the law. You will be fined by the FCC. You cannot meet people here, take their email, and shove them on your email list. If they start spamming you, or you get like dirty lists from somewhere and you're not warned at all, they don't even know who you were, you can get in a lot of trouble. So let's start by building our lists. How many of you have like solid banging email lists right now? I will take the 5 of you and teach the shit out of the rest of you. Are you ready? So first, you go to networking events in your market? Do you have a pile of business cards at your desk like I do? You need to start verbally asking at an event, thanks so much for your input. You know, we send a once-a-month email that's got like tips, cool songs of the month, blah, blah, blah. Are you okay if I put you on the list? They almost never say no. They say no when they're under 27. The youngies in the industry are like, oh, hell no. Don't put me on your list. But everyone else is like, yeah, sure. Because you're telling them you're sending cool content. You also can't take the ones on your desk and not send them an email and ask them. You've got that pile laying around, send one email saying, hey, we're starting a new monthly series. Are you okay if I put you on the list? Right? Easy peasy. Next up, you can do lead magnets. That's a lot more advanced. I'm not spending a ton of time on it. But what can you give on a B2B that is helpful information to the businesses in your market? How can you help them? Just shout out anybody who has knowledge in this room. How can you help the other businesses in your market?
You can write a review for them.
You can write a review for them. Awesome. How else can you help them in terms of like a list or tips or information? Do any of you do wedding shows? Right?
If you spot a current trend that's happening.
You spot a current trend, sexy. We do 25 wedding shows here, like I said, in January of 2023. The word forced started trending. All these bitches with their shows and having a foresty wedding. We live in Orlando, Florida. Don't have foresty weddings. for luxury. I've been a luxurious venue. I've been in the industry 20 years and no one's ever used that word. They didn't know what they were asking. They started asking questions. They want old money. That is what they should be calling it. They want what looks like old money because they see it on celebrities and things like that. Right? So when you find a trend that's popping, start sharing that information. So can you make a list that's like top 10 trends of 2024 that you should know about? Right? Lighting, things like that. Also stop using things like fancy words like Estera, fucking tube lights. None of us who are not DJs know what the fuck they're called. Stop calling them by the proper name. We don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead. Yeah.
What can the DJ provide to these vendors?
Give me 2 slides and then I'll hit you the entire list of them. Ready? So first, when it comes to building your list, I want you to start. If you have no list, which was a lot of you, very great, because we're starting from scratch. I need you to start figuring out what your segments are. In any email marketing platform, you can put them in little folders. You can segment the list. So you can segment them by event type. You can segment them by what category they are. Maybe you want to be able to send an email blast just to all the venues you work with, or all the planners, or just the venues that refer you. Right? Think about like what kinds of content you would want to send, and then you can start to organize your list appropriately. You can put an entire list of previous customers. No one is your best fan as the people that have already heard you. So like after they sign a contract, you can just tag them and put them on that list too. You can do them by year. This is great if you do corporate, because you can be like, oh, they hired me in 2023, but I haven't heard from them. You can go back and hit the 2023 list and say, hey Eric, it's been a while. Do you have any upcoming events? Here's our new shiny stuff. But you have to have them already segmented by this as you're loading them into the system. They can also be on multiple lists. So don't be like, oh, but they do that and that and that. You can do all kinds of stuff with the email marketing software. It's not as complicated as it sounds, I promise. You can also, within the software, say things like, let's say you wanted to send a promotional email, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's say you were like, oh, it's a slow booking month, we're gonna do 10% off any upgrades of lighting packages, and I only wanna send them to my current customers. Because you just wanna get fast upgrades. Right? So you can say, send them to the current customers list, but remove the lead list. You can say, send it to the venues that refer us, but not the venues that don't. So you can do send to this, but not to that. Does that make sense? Are you fucking with me? Hello? Okay. Okay, so next up is your B2B newsletter. What the hell are you putting in it? The entire intent of B2B is top of mind, right? Referrals are gold. We want people to talk about us. I'm skipping past this. I got too much to tell you. So here's the kind of information you're going to put in your email. The way these emails are designed, within every platform, they are in like blocks. You've seen what I'm talking about, right? You get an e-blast, there's like this block, and then that block, and that block. Some have buttons, some are like one image. So you're going to want to put some kind of personal note at the top, like so that it's from a person, not just a newsletter. Talk about something, right? Anything. Anything that's popping in your world this week, talk about it, or this month, you do monthly. The wow factor in your world is huge. I don't even know what you have. I don't know what you call it. The venues don't care, but they need to be knowledgeable. Like, are they sparks? Are they cold sparks? Are they indoor fireworks? What the fuck do we call them? Where are they allowed? Where are they not allowed? Teach me shit. Teach me things that I don't know in terms of what you have and what you do. I just think you guys all forget most of you have the power of music. Right? Like, are you making Spotify playlists and things like that? The CDs are very easy to make. The amount of time it takes me to make a Spotify playlist is ridiculous. Because I don't know what I'm doing and I have to search and find it. You guys know exactly the songs. Search add the list, search to add the list. If you have a team of people and you're the face, newsletters are a great place to spotlight them. So now I know, like in my business, I am trying to remove myself. So that in personal note at the top, I'm making my team write those. It's no longer coming from Shannon. You're going to see Bree's name and Nicole's name and Kate's name. You're going to not see me anymore. So I can start to remove myself out by doing that. News blogs, press releases, blog articles, if you're featured on something, in something. What makes you different? touched on this a little bit this morning, but I want to just scream this from the back of the room. If you say things on your website like since 1985, you sound old. If you do weddings and you're talking about your 40 years of experience, you sound old. I'm not saying you are, but I'm 42 and in my local market, I'm a veteran at 42. Right? So you just have to be careful with the wording from the marketing spin. A few other blocks, if you do public events and you're going to be somewhere, or let's say you're sponsoring a networking event in your market, you can talk about those. The top 3 most requested songs that month, I am so separated from modern day music. All I listen to is like 90s and early 2000s playlists. I don't really, that's it. That's all I freaking listen to. Unless it's on TikTok and I know the 30 seconds of that song. That's all I learned. So I don't have the knowledge, so tell me what's trending, teach me what's cool. So when I get in front of customers, I know what they're talking about, right? Connect on social platforms. How many of you have photo booths as a part of your business? So my favorite thing about photo booths with the friends who own them is once a month we get together for happy hour and we look at all the fucked up photos. We look at all the boobs, all the wieners, all of the inappropriate naked photos. People in the photo booth. They save them to a folder, we go to happy hour, we just sit and look through them, and then they delete them. But you have all this epic content when it comes to photo booths. Aren't you using it? Don't send the boobs. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying maybe the boobs. No. But you've got great content. Start using it and sending it out. Behind the scenes is also really interesting. I don't really know what you do. I don't know how long it takes to set up. I don't know what it's like to haul that equipment. I helped a DJ in our market one time. I was like, I'm done. It's really heavy shit that you haul around. I'm not built for this. I'm built to put things out. So good ideas, start doing a once a month, don't do it more than monthly, nobody wants to hear from you that much. Off B2B, onto B2C. Now, some different blocks that a consumer cares about, things like reviews. Venues don't give a shit about your reviews, they're not gonna read them. Your local market, they don't care. They already know you're doing a good job most likely. So, but these are the kinds of things you would put if you were doing a list to your engaged couples or previous clients or things like that. So you can talk about the venues you worked at. That's super impressive if you've worked at, in our market, we're super spoiled in Orlando. I have the Ritz and the Waldorf, JW Marriott. We have luxury hotel after another. When a vendor gets in there for the first time, tell people about it. You look like a big deal, right? What's the fancy venue in your market that you can be like, hey, we just work there? Or we work there all the time, right? Venues, social media blogs, trends, news, fun facts, music, trivia. It's a little bit more fun. You're showing a little bit more personality on the consumer side than just the stuff. And now I know you're thinking, I'm not doing this shit. Now you want to do all this shit. Yes, you can do just one newsletter to everyone. I do not recommend it. But if we're getting started somewhere, like we talked about, it's better to do something imperfect than to do nothing flawlessly. We have a hair and makeup company in our market. She sends an email every month. These are what I'm talking about when I talk about blocks. She has a block about wedding season, a block about their celebrity work. She does a block about featured work, and it's celebrity 20s, and then whatever they're pushing and promoting. Right? It's just it's a block of different. So let's say you're doing social, corporate, personal parties, blah, blah, blah. You can standardize it one time. Does it convert and is the open rate as high? It is not. But something is better than nothing. Done is better than perfect. So start with something. Does that make sense? Are you good? How am I doing? Fuck, I gotta go faster. Just kidding. Okay, the last section is promotional emails, right? So we've talked about how to respond to your leads. Now we've talked about some newslettery style things you can send out. Promotional emails is marketing specific to a specific list that has got a product or service, a special offer, and the intent is engagement and driving sales. So this is if you're running a special, a promo, an upgrades, an enhancements, if you've got big news about something specific, right? That's a promotional email. Your newsletters are standard once a month. Promotionals, you might just drip them in a few times a year. You might have new news. You might be shit, sales are down. Let's blow some shit out this month. In my market, summer is really hot, so people don't get married in June, July, and August. Every fucking vendor running a summer special. Want to know who's not looking for a DJ for the next 2 months? They already booked that shit. So the very few ones that are already happening, you should have already touched them at a different time, right? So it's like you have to start thinking through the times. The goal of promotional email is to move them through the funnel. They are just sitting there doing nothing. It's venues that have forgotten you exist, so you want to run a like only for our venue partners or only for the planners that refer us all the time. We're doing a booking special. And I'm also not a discount girl, I'm a value add. We don't discount, we value add. We add an extra shit, 4 free uploads cost you nothing. Value add stuff into there to get them moving. So here's a few best practices when it comes to promo emails. Define what it is and the action you want them to take. Increasing sales, you want to promote a new product, you get new stuff in-house. When you go to conferences like this, we have a rental company in our city that's amazing at this. She will go in and find stuff at a rental conference. She will literally take videos of it, send a pre-booking email out. She hasn't even purchased it yet. She sends a pre-email out to all of her current book clients saying, we just got these in. They don't even have them yet. But she will send that email and get enough pre-bookings that it pays for the product. That's a promotional email done correctly, right? Make it elite, like, oh, this is just because you're on our list. This doesn't go out, you don't post this stuff on social, it's only on the email list. It creates FOMO, decide your list, but FOMO is key for this, give it a deadline. Whatever it is, give it a hard deadline. 7 days seems to be the fastest you can get people to move. If you give them more than 7, it doesn't work. Less than 7, there's a chance they didn't read it yet. So you're like missing out. And then you can do a yearly promo calendar. So like this isn't easy, like one event per, you can do one campaign per month. When's engagement season? When do people start figuring out who their prom DJ is gonna be? February, right? So like in your head, you would think, well, prom season in my market is April, May, but if they're choosing that, you need to hit that prom list with the promo in January, right? So like, when do holiday parties start planning? July and August, right? So sit down and look at your calendar of who's planning when. In my world, we sell like advertising to venues. City-owned venues do their budgets in March. Hotels do their budgets in August. So we plan our promotional campaigns around that timely information. Also, don't forget things like Black Friday, holiday weekends, like National DJ Day. I don't know, there's all that shit that exists. Play around with it. The last section is automated emails. And what that means is like workflows. This is not your leads come in, you should have some form of cadence, a whole other presentation, on how you're following up, what you're following up, how many touch points. But when you get to the end of it and they haven't replied, what do you do with them? It's 30 days in, they haven't replied to any of your emails. What do you do with the lead?
Somebody else wants your date.
Somebody else, you can try that. Somebody else wants your date.
You drive to their house and shove their address.
You do show up at their house because you're a creeper and you ask for their home address. Weirdos. Only freaking DJs are asking that shit. But the workflow is automated so you can continue to touch those leads you paid for long past like your manual efforts, right? You do wedding shows, trade shows, you get a huge list, right? You get a big fatty list. You're not gonna reach out to every single one of those 800 every time. But at some point you wanna just dump them into a workflow. So we pull out, when we do a trade show, we take out the leads we got in the booth, we remove them from the list. The other 700, I dump them into an 8-email flow. The open rates are ridiculous. They convert people who never talked to us at the show are now seeing my stuff, and it's if we wrote it one time and blew all the way through it. So when you start thinking about, I'm talking to DJs here because I've done this with a DJ and it was the sexiest thing we've ever built. Like, where would you use it? These are examples. You could do happy birthday, could be automated. You can say every March, all these people who have March birthdays, that one's a little more advanced. But book clients, post event emails, you can drop them into a 3-month automation after their event is over. Right? So you stay top of mind. Maybe they're planning the next event if they're corporate. They're starting to work on next year. If they're social, maybe they've got a friend or someone else that might be able to hire you. But wedding DJs, I'm about to change your life. You can do a 12-month email campaign of the most common wedding music. What are the most popular wedding moments that need a song? First dance. Other daughter. Other son. Down the aisle. FYI, there's 12 of them. 12 COVID because we didn't have shit else to do. We sat down, we built 12 playlists on Spotify of each category, what are the songs that go in. We wrote 12 emails, January, in the order starting in January, because it's engagement season. So we start in January, and every month has a different suggested playlist with a link, with a call to action. She dumps every lead, every show, everything, everybody goes on this email list. In December, oh God, I'm not even touching it. What is happening? We have a problem. Help? That's some fun shit right there. I'm just gonna keep talking and click as hard as I can. She's a little possessed, but we'll get there. Okay, I get 2 minutes back for that shit. We're just gonna keep going. So, but this is something that you can do. Set it and forget it one time. We built these in 2020. In December, she opens them up, she refreshes her playlist, she touches up the email a little bit, and sets them for the whole next year. Because guess what? There's new songs, there's new stuff, but it's a once-a-year touch. The conversion rate from these emails for that legion. The conversion rate from those, the open rate is almost 70%. Because even if they didn't book you, they still want to know what the cool songs are. And their dumbass DJ doesn't do this. So they open it, they click it, they listen to it. So like I went into Spotify and I just searched wedding DJ. This dude came up. I don't know who he is. The wedding DJ in Spain. He came up and he's got all these playlists. Motown Classics, playlist example 1, top 40 tunes, disco, first dance ideas. Very easy. You can do this. You can put covers. You can brand them with your logo on them. And you can put covers in Spotify. So they live there forever. You would be shocked the amount of couples that are searching in Spotify to find playlists. First dance wedding playlists. They're searching for it. They might find your stuff, right? Once a year you touch it, that's it. You need to inspire them so they stop asking for stupid ass music. You have to tell them what they want. You have to explain, you have to teach them, because they don't know, customers don't know. You can literally do the same thing with B2B. You can do music by the decades, right? So you can do that same, like, I swear to God. There you go. You can do the same thing with B2B. You can do decades of music. You could do a shitty day playlist, right? I'm having a bad day, I don't want to get out of bed and go work an event today playlist. Like, give me stuff, the event hangover playlist to get it done. You guys know fancy words like BPMs, and I guess the beats per minute affect how fast you do the things. I don't really get it, but you can make a playlist for that, right? So if you're trying to have a chill day, the low BPM, the fancy BPM, all the things, right? So you can take the same concept. It's the Christmas CD in today's world. It is a way for you to stay top of mind. Every DJ in Orlando that used to do those, none of them make playlists. So now, the holidays hit, and sad little Shannon just listens to the same old stupid Christmas list that I've been listening to because I don't even know what's cool and new anymore. Now, they get through that automation, and then you can just dump them on the newsletter. So they go through the 12 months, and then you can just, through the email marketing, you can just move them right onto the newsletter list. So it's like, you paid a ton of money for these leads, and the contacts, and the networking events, and the business cards. Why aren't you staying on top of them? Email and text is the easiest way. I might delete the email 80% of the time, but I saw your name in my inbox. The amount of times I go, we host a monthly networking event, and people are like, we'll ask somebody, oh, I didn't know you were still in business. Because we don't have time to watch each other's fucking social media. We really have time to get the post up, right? So like, we don't have time to be living in social media of B2B. I watch cat videos, that's what I watch on social media. I don't want to see dumb wedding shit. I see that stuff all the time. So make the changes, institute some of these things. It will literally lead to exact dollars, no matter what of it you put through. We're gonna finish strong with one little piece. I want you to like literally never leave a conference in any session without writing down the one thing you're gonna do. I just give you 600 things to do. What's the one thing? Just shout it out. What's the one thing you're gonna do? Playlist. What else?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Your phone number if you prefer
Put your phone number if you prefer a text. That one's super sexy. You'll be shocked.
Shorter emails.
Shorter emails for all of us.
Comprehensive field forms.
Comprehensive field forms. Way better. Right? Go ahead.
Shorter forms.
Shorter forms. Please. Have you guys shopped for anything large in the last 12 months? It's awful. I don't know anything about retaining walls and pavers. I'm a fucking expert now. What do you want to know? I know what pavers cost. I know what the block costs, what the cement costs, what the rocks cost. I know it all now. But I went in with no knowledge. People planning an event, they don't, especially in the wedding industry, it's the first time they've ever done something like this. Help them, teach them, don't talk fancy shit to them, make it something that works. I'm going to give away, after this conference, a 90-minute Pick My Brain session. I will go over anything you want, work on anything with you. All you have to do is text me. That's my actual cell phone number, not Mary Jane Grossy's fake number.
Can we get your home address?
Fuck no. I don't think there is, maybe you really don't want to come. But text me the best thing you learned in this session, what you thought of it, and let me know what I can do to help you. I will be here today all day, Thursday all day. I'm here. No more dancing on the floor tonight. I'll do my best to keep my feet where they're supposed to be. We good? Get some messed up?
All right, thank you, Shannon. It's lunchtime. If you guys have not had a chance to check out the show floor because it hasn't been open, that will be opening right now as well. Don't forget to be back in the room, 2 o'clock. Nathan Culkin will be presenting at 2 o'clock. You are now listening to your mom's favorite DJ, DJ LG.
Are we gonna get some nachos?